Guys, my name is Coach Anthony. I've been a professional boxing teacher for over a decade. I've worked with numerous world-rated professional boxers, world champion boxers, and even amateurs at the Olympic level. Over the years, I've created courses that are going to help you improve in different areas of your boxing, where I teach boxing fundamentals and I teach tactics and I get in depth. Guys, there's going to be a link somewhere on the screen. I want you guys to click it because I'm giving a special offer. I need you guys to invest into yourself. You don't have to walk this boxing journey alone, guys. I'm here to help you, and that's what I really want to do. So click on the link, go ahead, invest into yourself, and learn how to box and stop trying to figure this out on your own. Boxing life. Yo, what's good? What's good? Countdown to Christmas, man. We got about, 10 days, 11 days, 12 days? I don't know, man. I thought it was 12 days. I looked on the calendar, but now I'm arguing. Somebody's telling me there's only 11 days, 10 days. I don't know, man. Can somebody tell me how many days we got left to Christmas? But anyway, man, it's a countdown to Christmas, man. We're going to come on here for the next days, I'm just going to say. And we're going to do what we was doing for No Days November. I got some things lined up for the next week and a half, I should say. So I'm going to need you guys to pull up in here every single day. Today is just day one. We're going to keep it real light. We're going to do a typical Q&A, real light, you know what I'm saying, some small talk or whatever. But then we're going to be consistent again. And we're going to keep this going. We're going to keep this pushing. We're going to end this year nice and strong. I want to say thank you to everybody in advance who watches this either after or live. A lot of the times you guys don't catch this live. You guys catch this late, and that's cool. But for the people who are able to get here live, I highly appreciate you guys for making time. I'm sure you guys had a long days. That's not Monday. It's Tuesday, but I don't even know what day it is, man. But I know everybody out there got lives. You guys got jobs. You guys got to wake up in the morning and stuff like that. But you guys are in here or whatever. So just want to say what's up to everybody, man. We got DMC. What's going on? DMC in the building. We got Garrett Groover. Look at that, man. Even after 2 weeks, man, Garrett Groover makes sure he's in here, man. Look at that. Ricardo Melendez, how is Garrett in here and he owe me money? Damn. Hold up. Ricardo, how much money he owe you, man? How much he owe you? Garrett Groover's not feeling that. What's going on, Garrett? How much money you owe my man Ricardo, man? It's time you pay up if you owe him some bread. Jorge, North Jersey representative. Jorge, what's going on, my brother? What's going on? I'm glad you actually pulled up. You know what I'm saying? The educated black guy in the building. What's going on, educated black guy? We got Hippie. What up, coach? What's good, champ? Sean Breezy. Yo, what up, coach? What's going on, Sean, man? How you doing, man? Sean says 11 days. Okay, so we got 11 days left till Christmas. Whether you celebrate or you don't, we're going to have fun with this, you know what I'm saying? And I got some stuff lined up. It's Tuesday, so we starting off slow. You know what I'm saying? Get everybody back into the swing of things. I know No Days Off November, you know what I'm saying, was No Days Off November was wearing everybody out. It didn't just wear me out. It wore out a lot of guys. A lot of guys hit me up like, yo, that was dope, man. But damn, that wore me out. That was a lot. And a lot of guys showed up in here regularly, man. So, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate that. Jeff, what's good, coach? What up, my boy? How you doing? Ray Richardson, what up, coach? What up, my boy? How you doing, man? Is that a new era beanie? Nah, man, it's not a new era, man. You know what I'm saying? It's that Santa Claus vibes, though. We got some Santa Claus vibes going right now, so you already know what we doing, man. You know what I'm saying? We working, man. We working. Happy Hanukkah. Yeah, happy Hanukkah, man. Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, Christmas, all of that, man. You know what I'm saying? So big shout out to all the holidays, man. It's really just happy holidays, man. I'm using the Christmas as a promo for sure. Of course, I grew up celebrating Christmas, you know what I'm saying? And for sure, happy Hanukkah and happy any holiday that's going on right now. You know what I mean? We're going to do some boxing Q&A, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to talk about boxing. I'm hoping that I can get the one and only Fast Eddie Chambers in here real soon. So if you guys like Fast Eddie, Fast Eddie should be pulling up in here in just a little bit, so be ready for that. We're gonna definitely do some Q&A and chop it up with him for a little bit, but we just warming things up right now. No Days Off November was hella dope. Respect the hustle. K from Cali, man, I appreciate you, man. Yeah, we grinded it out, man. We grinded it out. And just guys, just so you know, I'm building out the community. And we're going to be doing a lot of lives in the community. That's going to be one of the perks. I'm not going to be going live on YouTube like that, because on YouTube, you know, a lot of the times, YouTube, I like to just post regular instructionals on YouTube. I like to pull up in here live or whatever, you know what I'm saying, and chop it up with you guys. I really do. But I'm hoping and I'm assuming that most of the people in this live has already purchased the course from me, because you know I had the fantastic deal going this whole month, really. We had the Black Friday, which was just an extravaganza. That was just amazing. And then, of course, right now, I got the CA Holiday Deals, which is 60% off the courses and the bundles. And we know that the courses and the bundles are already marked down. And you're also going to get enrolled to the CA Boxing community. Guys, you're not going to want to miss the CA Boxing community. If you appreciate these lives, if you guys are actually watching this, whether you're watching this live or you're watching this late, you're going to want to be part of the community, because the community, I'm going to be bringing some exclusive stuff, obviously, for my people. And the way you get enrolled to the community, absolutely free as of right now, because eventually that community is going to change into a paid membership, is going to be by just purchasing a course. So just go to the website, get your 60% off, save some money, get it real cheap right now while the sale is going for the holidays, right? Grab a course. You're automatically enrolled. Don't worry about it. Once you purchase it, I got everybody's information. We're going to be sending out a mass email to everybody once the community is completely done and built out. Everything's already. I was working on it last night. It's going to be a lot of fun, man. You guys are going to like it, and a lot of the stuff that we're going to do, you know, exclusive interviews and conversations, and you guys are going to be able to upload your stuff, and it's just a lot of different things that we're going to be doing in the community. And I'm hoping that I see all of the regulars that I see in here there. So, you know, just be on the lookout for that. And I'm going to just leave that up there for you guys to check out for right now. So you guys already know the vibes. Just go to CoachAnthonyBoxing.com. I'm just going to go ahead and keep going through some of these comments you guys are saying until we get Eddie in here. Said, nah, I'm just messing. Garrett is good people and love the videos you put out. Ricardo, man, I appreciate that, man. Yeah, Garrett's a regular, man. Garrett's been in here, man. He was mediating for me. He was helping me out. No Days Off November for sure, man. I highly appreciate Garrett. He showed a lot of support and a dedication to the live on a daily basis, man. David Flores, what's good, coach? What's the best workout to build a strong base when fighting a pressure fighter? Get him from not having you. All right. Boom. What's the best workout to build a strong base? When fighting a pressure fighter, get him from not having you on your heels. I respect your craft. For real, one love. Well, I mean, look, we all know that if you want to have a strong base, you got to start from the ground up, right? Build you from the ground up. One of my number one courses that I got right now for my beginners. Big shout out to everybody who's picked up that course. But one, it starts off with a good foundation before we get into the exercises, right? Because the exercises are very important, obviously, right? You got to be in shape. If you're not in shape, things ain't going to work. But it's one thing to give you all these different exercises, and then you go do these exercises, and then what ends up happening is you don't have the right foundation. It doesn't even matter. Boxing has a lot to do with fundamentals, techniques, balance. You know what I'm saying? So if your foundation is already straight, you got a good, nice toe heel alignment, you got a good jab, right? You're not freaking out. You're not over moving. You're taking your time. You know, your defense is on point. Somebody closes the distance. You're comfortable. You're catching shots. You're not freaking out. Then it's not going to be as hard as it sounds to deal with a pressure fighter who's putting pressure if you know how to deal with the pressure. So that goes into tactics. That goes into foundation, fundamentals, defense, right? These are all very important components that we have to talk about before we get into the exercises. Now, as far as the exercises go, of course, you want to have a nice strong core. You know what I'm saying? You want to have your legs nice and strong. You know what I mean? You want to have a strong body in a sense. Everything in boxing needs to be strong. Your legs, your core, your arms, your shoulders. And how do you build strength? Well, you build strength in many different things. And boxing isn't a, okay, if I just do this, I'm good. Boxing is a, if I do everything, I'm good, right? Like, for instance, mitt work is either overrated or underrated. I get mixed emotions when I hear mitt work, when people bash mitt work, but then when people overuse mitt work, I get my mixed emotions in that area as well. Because what ends up happening is, if you don't use the mitts at all, which you don't have to, many champions have been built over the years without mitts, you know, but when I use mitts to teach, right? So I'm teaching guys how to do stuff with the mitts, shoulder roll, using all, using all your different techniques, throwing your different combinations or whatnot. But I don't just rely on the mitts. I also put them on the heavy bag. I also put them on the, speed bag. I also make them do conditioning. I also make them spar. I also make them shadow box, right? I'm using all the different ingredients to create the dish, right? The recipe is everything. You got to use all the different ingredients, and then you got to make the dish. It's the same thing when you talk about what's good strength, to deal with, how do I get strong to deal with a pressure fighter? Well, you're going to need a lot of ingredients. I'm not just going to tell you do squats. I'm not just going to tell you to work your legs out. I'm not going to tell you to just do planks. I'm going to tell you that you need, for one, a good foundation, right? You need to have a solid fundamental skill set. Okay, that's for one. You need to understand defense. That's for two. You need to have a hell of a jab. That's for three. You're going to have to know how to fight on the inside. That's for four. You're going to have to know how to fight on the outside to control range. That's for five. You're going to have some experience dealing with this, because it takes experience to deal with that pace. That's for six. And then I'm going to tell you, you need to be in shape. Well, how do you get in shape? Well, we're going to need the jump rope. We're going to need the heavy bag. We're going to need the sparring. We're going to need the running. We're going to need the sprinting. We're going to need the push-ups. We're going to need the push-ups. We're going to need the nutrition dialed in. We're going to need the sleep. We're going to need the sparring. Do you see how this can get really, like, this question can go like a bunch of different ways, as opposed to it just being as simple as just do some squats? That's not how boxing works. You see what I'm saying? Boxing is about everything. You got to have the mindset. You can have all those things right, and if your mindset ain't right, well, guess what? It's still not going to work out. You know what I mean? The mental aspect of boxing is so underrated. You have to be mentally prepared to deal with a pressure fighter, if that makes sense. That's another big component of it. So I just gave you a freaking long answer to probably what looks like an easy question to the naked eye, but it's not as easy as it sounds, because you need to have all these components, you know what I'm saying, before you can go ahead and deal with a guy who, especially if he knows how to put pressure. Putting pressure is very difficult. That's the kryptonite to a lot of fighters. We saw Gervonta Davis struggle with a pressure fighter. Gervonta Davis now has been, quote unquote, the boogeyman of the division. Some people looked at him as like an absolute just nightmare, and he's still a nightmare. But when he fought a pressure fighter, he kind of looked human. He kind of looked like another guy that can be beat. Now people are calling him overrated and everything and the other. That's what a good pressure fighter does. A good pressure fighter makes great fighters look average. And that's why this is a difficult thing to deal with. That's why you have to be on top of your game, and you have to understand the game. You feel me? Man, I just went in. I know. I hope that helps, though, champ. David, I really hope it helps you, man. My man Jorge, coach, the IBF made boots the mandatory for Spence's belt. Man, Spence ain't defending that belt. Spence ain't defending that belt. He'll give that belt up. Man, I really don't know. I really don't know how that's gonna play out. I seen that Terrence Crawford said something along the lines of make me the mandatory. I don't know how that's gonna play out. That's gonna be very interesting. I think Boots is ready right now, though, y'all. I've been telling y'all this for a couple of fights. Jerome Boots Ennis is ready for the top dogs right now. He doesn't need another warm-up fight, in my opinion. I think he's ready right now. Let the dog loose. Let him loose. You know what I'm saying? There is nobody in the division right now other than the top guys. They're gonna be able to mess with that kid, if anybody. So I hope the Boots gets his opportunity. You know what I mean? It looks like Terrence Crawford's trying to steal that opportunity from him. I hope the Boots speaks up and makes it happen. I would love to see Spence and Boots. I would love to see Spence and Terrence Crawford. I would love to see Boots and Terrence Crawford. All those guys make for a very exciting fight. Ray Richardson, I'm ready for the community. That's about to be fire. Yes, sir. You already know the vibes. No Farias. What's up, coach? What's good, man? Freddie the Valet. I'm 43. Can I still be a world champion fighter at my age? I'm going to purchase your master boxing bundle. I'm sure that I can still be one. Well, listen, I appreciate you purchasing the master boxing bundle. All right. And if you're going to purchase it, make sure you use CA Holla deals so you can get it at 60% off, because then you're going to get all the bundles. You're going to get all the courses already marked down, and you're going to get it for 60% off. Okay. Now, as far as your question goes about you being 43 and being a world champion, well, if you start today and you put in 20 years the way Floyd Mayweather did, you probably could be a world champion at 63 if your body can handle it, which I've never seen a fighter do that. So, you have to be somewhat realistic, Freddie. You have to be realistic, right? I mean, this is a young man's sport for a reason. You know what I'm saying? So I just believe that I think at your age, you should consider master boxing. The master boxing bundle is fantastic. And if you become a master boxer, now you can fight other guys that are in your age bracket, and you can win a golden glove. And there's a lot of different great prestigious tournaments that you can win as a master boxer. That's the route that I would suggest for a guy like you. But I appreciate you, man. And make sure you use that discount code CA Holla Deal 60. Get 60% off the markdown price, champ. You can't go wrong. Love your stuff. Should have gone with 12 rounds of Christmas rather than Countdown 2. Jesse, you know what? I was going to do the 12 rounds. I was going to do the 10 count, the 12 count, whatever. And guess what? I wasn't sure how many days I had left. I was getting into debates about how many days I had left. But I tell you what, if today's 11, that means tomorrow is 10. We still could do a 10 count. Ooh, 10 count to Christmas. Jesse, we still on it, baby. That's the beauty about being able to be like water. You know what I mean? When you're Bruce Lee and you're like water, you just flow and you make adjustments as needed. You feel me? Cameron Lyons, Spence versus Crawford. Who you got? Love from Australia. That's a good one, man. But I think I'm just gonna have to go with Crawford, man. At this point, I just think that Crawford is, I just think that Crawford is the guy right now, man. That besides, I just think that Spence, with all the turmoil he's dealt with the accident and now the eye and everything like that, man, I'm just gonna have to say that Crawford's the fresher guy at the moment. I'm just gonna have to go with Crawford. Daddy Pop, $5. Thank you very much for the super chat. How to make the left hand as strong? Okay. How to make that left hand as strong as the left hand? How to make the left hand as strong as the left hand, besides obviously training, best way to train the left hand. So I'm guessing you're asking me how to make the left hand as strong as the right hand. I was a little confused there for a second. Well, I'm going to hope that my assumption is correct. And this is something that you need to understand. When you are boxing, the reason why boxers are taught to fight out of distance, which would be lead hand in the front of the rear. I've talked about this numerous times. I probably still could make a YouTube video on it. Okay. But I get this question. If you're a righty, why does the right hand go on the rear side as opposed to on the lead? Well, this is your dominant hand, right? This is the power if you're a righty. Okay. This is the power. This is where you're like, you use it all day. You know what I'm saying? You're picking stuff up. You know what I'm saying? I'm picking up my drink. You know what I'm saying? I'm putting my hat on. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing whatever. I use this hand more than I use this hand, right? Now, when we box, when we put the lead hand in front, which is our weaker hand, we still got to fend off our opponent, right? So we're working the jab, working the jab, working the jab, occasional hook, occasional uppercut, whatever. So now this hand is being used 2 to 3 times more than this hand. Right? We throw the right hand based off measuring with the lead hand. So if I'm measuring with this hand, then I can set up the right hand. Bang. Okay? This hand is being used 2 to 3 times as much as this hand. So therefore, this hand develops and it kind of balances everything out. You know what I'm saying? It balances it out. When you're boxing, you're going to use your lead hand 2 to 3 times more than you will your rear hand. Your rear hand gets used, but your lead hand gets used more. And that's how you're going to develop it over time, over a period of time. Okay. If we was to put you in a southpaw position when you are a righty, like a converted southpaw, then what's going to end up happening is you're going to be lead hand dominant. So that means you're going to be throwing powerful hooks, powerful jabs. Your rear hand is going to suffer because you're so used to using that lead side all day anyway. And now we're using it 2 to 3 times as much. You're not balancing out. You're not balancing it out. You know what I mean? So you're going to create that imbalance. So the way you're going to work that is to learn how to box in a traditional boxing stance and use that hand more than the other. Eventually, from using it and using it and using it, it'll balance out. I'm about to scroll up real quick, guys, and just to see what I missed. I might have missed a few questions along the way. We got Caesar in the building. Sup to the real ones. What's going on, Caesar? Jesse, my coach doesn't want me to do the Philly shell. I feel more protected and comfortable. I love the counterpunch. I feel so awkward in an orthodox stance. Always have. Well, I can understand why your coach might not want that. I mean, I don't know how you look. I don't know how you. When I say look, I mean how you box. I don't know what level you're at. A lot of guys want to fight out the Philly shell that shouldn't be fighting out the Philly shell. So I don't know if your coach knows something that I don't know because I don't know you. I can understand your thought on it, why you would want to fight out of the Philly shell. Most people who like the idea of the Philly shell always say the same thing. I feel more comfortable. But you have to understand this. When your hands are down, your lead hands are low, very, very, very high possibility that you can get hit over the top with some devastating right hand counters. So, or left hand counters, depending what stance you are. But if I'm fighting a righty and my left hand is low, unless I'm very comfortable with the rotation of the shoulder, unless I'm very comfortable with the catcher's middle, unless I'm very comfortable bending the waist, unless I'm very comfortable rolling under shots and doing all the things that the Philly shell, using the forearm to deflect the right hand, unless I'm very comfortable with all of these techniques, the chances of getting countered over the top are extremely, extremely high. So I can understand why why your coach may want to say, listen, stay away from that, keep traditional, block the right hand. Traditionally, most coaches who give that advice have your best interest at hand. They're not trying to hurt you, they're trying to help you. But as you improve, you do need to explore more options and a greater understanding of all the tools and techniques that you can use. So I'm just hoping that eventually maybe he will work with you on it. You know what I'm saying? But Jesse, to answer your next question, should I just listen to him or find a new coach? If he's been a good coach to you, I would keep him and I would listen to him if he's been a good coach to you. You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't mean that I wouldn't do my own research. You're still a human being. You're still allowed to do your own research, and you're still allowed to learn. Matter of fact, this is a good question for the one and only Fast Eddie Chambers to pull up in, man. What's going on, Eddie?
What's going on, man? How you feeling?
I'm good, man. So,
I like the hat, man. Nice,
listen,
nice change.
countdown to Christmas, and me and you are gonna do some really dope stuff. We were gonna go every day, but I figured, you know what? It's better we warm the people up to what we got going on.
Mm-hmm.
So over the weekend, I'm thinking maybe Friday, we
Mm-hmm.
should really do something fire. Like, so we need everybody to tune in on Friday. And Friday's a good day because most people are off the next day and stuff like that. So Friday night, Eastern time, somewhere in that 9, 10 p.m. realm, we're gonna do something special, Eddie. Is that cool with you?
Definitely.
All right, so listen. My boy Jesse asked a good question about the Philly show. His coach doesn't want him to do it. He says he likes it better. He feels more comfortable better. And then the next question was, should he just find a new coach because his coach won't comply to him trying to learn something new? My quick answer was, and I don't need you to agree with me. My quick answer was, if your coach has been doing a good job with you, just listen to him, stick with him, because a lot of times coaches have your best intent when they tell you don't do the Philly show, right? That's typically good advice because what ends up happening is these kids, they keep their left hand low, and then the next thing you hear, bang, they're getting caught,
Mm-hmm.
they're getting hurt, and then it's like, well, you was trying to be Floyd Mayweather and you're not. But
Exactly. Yeah.
you being a fighter, Eddie, over the years, a fantastic fighter for the record, a guy who could do the Philly show. You know what I'm saying? I've seen you do the Philly show quite a bit in your career, in the gym a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But I've also seen you fight with both hands super high,
Mm-hmm.
pulling shots, blocking shots, right? I've seen you do a lot of this over the years. Of course, you're fighting heavyweight freaking giants.
Mm-hmm.
But what's your thoughts on this question and this answer?
I mean, that's a good question. But I think you err on the side of caution with that. I mean, I would lean more toward listening to my trainer if I've been having success with him. So I do agree with you on that. But you should never stop trying to better yourself. I think as a fighter, you want to try different things, you want to learn different things, especially if you watch certain fighters that you really admire and they're successful with it. I mean, I wasn't doing the Philly show a whole lot in my career until I started really paying attention to James Toney. Like I started watching James and how he was using it. And there was a fight I had, and I was James Ali Bashir was my trainer, and we was like, "Yo, we're gonna watch him a lot, and we're gonna use a lot of what he does because." In a particular fight that I had with Tomas Adamek, we were similar in size, even though he was still a few inches taller and 25 pounds heavier. But I still could kind of utilize it a little more, use some of the feints, some of the movements that the Philly show has to offer, but not for every single fight I have. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like I feel like I understand why his trainer's saying it. His trainer may be saying it because he's seen a lot of people try to use it and haven't been successful. Because like you said, everybody's not Floyd Mayweather or James Toney. And like you even watch Adrian Broner as an example. And there was at times that he was using it, like when he would fight Marcos Maidana, and he was falling. The principles of it was kind of falling apart because of the way Maidana fights. He was pulling out with his hands away from his body, away from his head and body, and he was just getting caught with shots. So I understand why his trainer's saying it, but I think yes, you should listen to him. But at the same time, if you want to study and you want to learn some things and you want to improve your game, I still think you should not just ignore that aspect of it.
Yeah, yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Because
That's very true, and I'm gonna tell you why, Eddie. Because I remember when I was boxing, I was training in a PAL for many years,
Mhm,
and in this police athletic league, it was just a lot of amateurs. There was no professionals. It was all amateurs, and basically the only
mhm,
thing they would do was get us prepared for competition. So they wasn't teaching too much. They would just like go out there and run, hit the bag, run, sprint, condition on the bag, spar. There was nobody actually sitting there like teaching us the tactics and the stuff that we, the way I work with a lot of fighters.
mhm,
And what I learned was when I got with my most
right.
recent coach, he started teaching me how to fight behind the shoulder, You know what I mean? He started teaching me the Philly show, basically. That was his style. I felt like I was learning boxing all over again. And unfortunately, I picked this up when I already stopped competing. So it was like I'm learning it, but I'm already 27, 28 years old learning it. Like, damn, I wish I would have had you as a coach when I was 19, 20, 17,
Yes,
18, when I was actually competing regularly. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So it like held me back in a sense.
Yeah. And so you see what I'm saying, though? Like, don't get me wrong. I mean, like you said, you listen to your trainer. Your trainer was coaching you on those tactics and everything. This guy is obviously not trying to teach him that, or he doesn't want him to learn that, at least at this point in his career. I'm not sure.
Hold on, Eddie. He just gave a super chat. So let me just read this. Thank you, Jesse,
Okay.
super chat. Thanks for answering my question. I used orthodox. I guess he's saying traditional of 3 years, then learned Philly, new coach for about a year. He's a Mexican style fighter, wants me to fight like he does, so it's uncomfortable for me. So that could be a problem. When a trainer wants you to fight the way they used to fight when they were fighters, that's typically a red flag.
Huge. Listen, all great teachers and all great trainers, let's call them all great teachers, they're not training you based on how they fight. They're training you based on how you fight. What your style is predicated for. It's like, I'm not going to train everybody to be defensive minded, boxing from on the back foot like I did if that's not their strength. You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to read your guy and know what he wants to do. Now, I'm going to give him principles of that because I want him to be able to protect himself just as much as anything else in the ring. I want to make sure that when we get up in the ring, I'm confident that he'll be okay. He's not going to get cracked or hurt because he's putting himself out there to be hit. That's my way. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I'm not going to affect his style just because I want him to fight like me. There may not be another fighter that fights like me. You know what I mean? It may be I may have my own special little thing. That's just me. The guy I'm training may not be a fighter like that. He may want to use his legs more for defense. You know what I'm saying? He may want to move his head more than I did. He may want to do multiple different things than I did. It's just so you cannot train every fighter the same. It's not going to work out.
And that's how it was with me, man. Think about Marshall and Bino, my two amateurs. I trained them about equally. And if you look at Marshall is roll, catch, slip. And Bino was just a dog. Like, I couldn't really turn Bino into this. I mean, he understood it, but he was more go. And I didn't want to take that away from him because he was beating guys with that.
Yeah, no doubt.
So why would I take that away from him and try to turn him into a defensive guy? I let him keep going. Like, all right, this is what works for you, but I teach him a little bit of defense along the way so he doesn't run into shots. But yeah, you have to be able to adapt. Like, people think that when you get with a coach, if all the coaches pumped out the same style of fighter, then it's only a matter of time till that coach gets picked apart, right? Because you know what to expect from that coach. Oh yeah, all his guys fight like this. All his guys fight like this. You know, coach, you don't know what he's going to bring at you.
Well, look, there was coaches back in the day, though, that would do something similar to that. Like, I remember there was one coach, and I can't remember exactly where he's from. I think he might have been from Reading. He was, or I don't know, he might not. I don't think he was from Reading. I think he was close by, but he would turn all his guys southpaw. I mean, all of them. Every fighter he had would have a fight southpaw. Now, it's one thing if you have a fight southpaw, like, I want y'all all to learn how to fight southpaw and fight southpaw in a tournament and try to win it southpaw. That's different. But if you're literally trying to turn somebody southpaw and it's not really what should be their best, that's not really in their best interest, and you're just doing it because you want the southpaw advantage, you're going to run into somebody who knows how to pick apart southpaws. And these guys don't even really know how to fight that way. You understand what I'm saying? Like, don't just adjust somebody, especially if they already started fighting orthodox first. You know what I'm saying? Then just try to turn everybody one way. I feel like there's no cookie cutter like way of doing. You can't do that. You know what I'm saying? I feel like everybody's different, and you have to cater to their styles and what their what their fears and their their wants, their needs as a fighter. You know what I mean? I think that's the most important part, and that's what sets great trainers aside to the rest of the pack. is to be able to be a chameleon in a sense and be able to work with anyone.
I agree. Jesse said, that's why I'm unsure if I should move on from him. He had an impressive amateur career, but I don't fight like how he does and get hit way more. So basically, he's kind of torn between the fact that, you know, he has a good coach, but his coach has a different style than he. You know, I honestly, Jesse, my personal answer to you is you got to follow your heart on this one, because it sounds like you know what you want. It kind of sounds like you know yourself, you know your identity. You said in one of the posts that you have 8 years boxing experience, so you're not a rookie. 8 years is relatively a good amount of years. Eddie went professional, you know, 8 years of boxing. You was already turned pro, right, Eddie?
Yeah, I was 4 years amateur.
4 years
turned pro.
Eddie went pro. So if you've been boxing for 8 years, you know, you're at a decision-making point now. If you're not a pro, you're at a very serious decision-making part of whether do you want to take this further or is this just a hobby for you? And if you're getting hit quite a bit doing it the way he's showing it to you, and you want to be a defensive fighter, then yes, you may have to look for a new trainer, because, and I don't want to shed disrespect on your trainer that you have now, but if you know it's not working, you know it's not working. And sometimes it just takes that decision that you have to personally make. I don't know. I'm not you. I'm not in your shoes. I'm not there. I'm not witnessing it. But everybody's not for everybody. Remember that. Everything ain't for everybody, and everybody's not for everybody. That's why there's an old saying, like, I remember I used to meet a lot of good trainers over the years, Eddie, when I was boxing, and I would be like, yo, man, you think we could work together? And he'd be like, well, let's see how we mesh. Let's see how we mesh. That's what a lot of the old school guys used to say. And now I understand that, because meshing with your fighter, for those of you guys in this chat who don't know what meshing means, meshing basically just means that we click, you know? It's like, like you meet a girl one day and you're just like, well, whether we have chemistry is going to make the decision on how long we stay together. It doesn't matter how good you look. You could be a dime piece, but if I ain't feeling your energy, you might be cool.
Don't matter.
You might be cool for a weekend, but then you got to get the hell up out of here. I'm not digging you no more. And that's really what it comes down to with the fighter. Like, you could be the most talented fighter in the world, but if me and you don't got that something, you know what I'm saying? Pause, of course. But if we don't have that chemistry, you feel me? It ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna matter how good of a coach I am, and it ain't gonna matter how good of a fighter you are. We have to have some sort of a chemistry. And it sounds like right now you're having an issue in that department, and that's a very big issue. So you're gonna have to make a decision, man. I wish you all the best, man. Let's see what other questions we have in here. Eddie, man, there's a lot of questions, man. Anybody got any particular questions? Now's the time. But Eddie, man, what's going on with you, man? Anything new, man? You've been training people? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, man, getting this thing moving. You know, at this point, I'm ready to open it up completely, like, and have a whole rack of people I'm working with. You know what I'm saying? You know, the creative juices are flowing in my head. Pause, if that makes sense. If I need to say pause to that, but I just want to see the things that I've learned and the all of the little details, things that my dad taught me. I want to see how I have taken it in and how I'm ready to really, like, put it out in the world and see if I can affect people in a real positive way through boxing and, you know, just fitness in general. So yeah, man, it's about that time for me. I mean, I don't want to be necessarily a trainer to necessarily a champion.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I had a conversation with Billy Briscoe today, and I see that super chat. I'm gonna get to you in 1 second. And he was like, "What's up with Eddie, man?" I was like, "What do you mean, what's up with him?" He said, "He gonna fight again?" And I was like, "Nah, I don't know. I'm like, Eddie, you know how Eddie is, blah blah blah." And he's like, "Man, what the fuck's wrong with that?" Yo, Billy still sees something in you, man. So I mean,
I got a couple people saying that to me, man.
Yeah, I mean,
you saying it too. Like, you said it too, man.
We're gonna have this conversation in 3 more years. We still gonna be on the fence, not knowing what we gonna do, or we gonna be in that ring, or we gonna be retired and you're gonna be full-time coaching. Which one is it?
Well, one thing is for sure. I'm gonna be in the gym. If something is ready to come up and it's a situation that that I really believe is a good enough situation for me to, dust off my gloves and get back in there. Why not? You know what I mean? You got to think it's almost been 7 years since the last time I fought. And I don't mind jumping in after a long layoff. That's not the issue. It's just how will I feel in there? You know what I'm saying? I think I feel great. I've sparred not too long ago.
That's something I want to swing back around to and ask you. I'm gonna hold that thought, but let me see what my man Vlad got a good question. Any thoughts about Beterbiev and Brown?
I just talked about that with my man on another one.
Can't wait to watch this fight.
I'm gonna tell you,
I like Marcus Brown a lot. I don't know how. I know what I'm hearing about Beterbiev. I don't know.
I've seen him.
Kid fight.
I've seen him.
Yeah, I've seen him. About him. I think I might have glanced at him in the fight, but I don't remember any fight that stuck out. Who did he fight? I know he defeated.
No, I can't remember the guy's name. Guy was a good boxer and was doing real well with him. Landed some good counter shots.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking it up right now.
If you bring the kid's name up that he fought, that was giving him a good little bit of work at one point. Better be able to just turn that next gear, start putting his hands on him, got him out of there. He's one of those dudes is just like it just seems like it's only a matter of time. Like he feel like he's on your ass and it pause, and eventually he's gonna get you. You know what I'm saying? That's the kind of guy he leads like a seek and destroy.
His most recent fights have been. I don't know a lot of these guys.
Name a couple of them.
What I am gonna say, starting in 2014 with Tavares Cloud.
Okay.
Since then, he's fought nothing but good fucking records. Jeff Page was 15-0. Alexander Johnson was 16-2.
Mm-hmm.
Esquiel Moderna was 23-2.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of these names, I don't know who these guys are, but this guy is 26-1, 23-1. Callan Johnson, 17-0. Another name that I can't even pronounce, 24-1.
Well, you try to pronounce it because one of those names.
God. How do you say these names, bro? Alexander Gvozdyk. Like, how am I supposed to pronounce that, bro?
Seriously. I don't know. But that's the one.
The dude is 17-0. He TKO'd him.
Yeah, then that's the one I was talking about.
Adam Dienes TKO'd him. Mm-hmm. I'm not the best at keeping up with all these guys anymore.
Right.
And now that we're going live now, I've been trying though, guys. I'm trying to catch up. Now,
trying to get the names right.
This is what I will say. This guy is only 5'11.5. Now, Marcus Brown is 6'1". I know he's good. And quite frankly, his record is just as impressive. You know, I mean, as far as records go, he also got Badu Jack on there, Jean Pascal on there. Mm-hmm. He obviously lost to Jean Pascal in a fight that, Jean Pascal was probably on steroids. Mm-hmm. In a fight that was quite surprising how it went, too. It was like an exciting, weird fight. He kept getting dropped. Marcus Brown's an Olympian. Marcus Brown's an Olympian. Okay, so he's got experience.
He can fight.
He's good. Marcus Brown's good, bro.
I like Marcus Brown. I do.
I like him I think he's really, really good. Now, we do know, though, that this other guy seems to be the guy. But,
bro, I'm telling you, if he can hit Beterbiev and keep him like, ooh, hey, got a chance to outbox him, win a decision, possibly. Shit, maybe even knock him out. If he could put his hands on him and make him respect him, maybe if his pop is really like that. But if it's not, and we know Marcus Brown goes down, this dude is going. I'm telling you, he's going to be there, and he's going to put his hands on him. If he put his hands on him too many times, he's not getting up, bro. I'm just telling you, I've seen it. He's like he's not special.
Are you predicting Beterbiev to win this fight? Because I think this fight is this weekend, bro. I think that's
it is. It's this weekend. But listen.
Oh, we lit. We going live. We talking about it. It's lit.
Listen, I would like to see Marcus Brown win. You know what I mean? I think he, I like him. I met him a couple of times. He's a good dude, and he can fight. he deserves an opportunity like with a guy like this to win. I just don't know if it's gonna happen, man. This dude is serious. I'm telling you, he's serious.
Marcus Brown on the live to chat with us.
That would be
fight week though. It's fight week though. He's busy. I don't like bothering these guys on fight week, bro. I'm gonna be honest.
But you know what? This is part of. Hey, look, it's part of selling the fight. It's part of selling the. Not selling the like selling the fight. If you're calling him like, yo, I want to get this guy on so I can interview him.
No, I got Marcus Brown contact. That's my guy.
I want to see him win. I just don't know, man. This dude right here. Look, if he can swim without getting wet, without a doubt, I feel like he'll win a decision, possibly. But professional boxing is not necessarily that simple. You understand what I'm saying? Guys, you're going to get hit at some point. And then I'm telling you, of all of the ones he's fought, Jean Pascal and a lot of these other guys that he's fought and beat, and some of which the world might have been on steroids. I don't know if this guy's on it or not, but he punches like he is. So, you know what I mean?
That crazy though. Ain't that messed up though, man? Like you don't know if he's on it or he's not. Like that's the right answer. The right answer is I don't know if he's on it or like we're not at a point in boxing where we can say, yeah,
he's definitely not
clean, bro. Like,
yeah.
Like if like
that.
It's a shame, bro. Like it's crazy.
It's like that. I fought so many fights, man, against dudes. There was probably dudes doping. You know what I mean? And it's like, what can I say? I can't say nothing I can do or say. You know what I mean? You get in there and you start feeling some of these punches. Like, man, this don't even feel natural. But hey, sometimes. But see, I'm not in the business of sitting there letting you hit me. So there were certain fights that I didn't even know if they was on it because they never touched me. You know what I'm saying? They barely touched me. So it's a messed up situation though. I had to fight dudes on that shit. Trust me.
Huh? What was that last thing, Eddie?
I said it's a messed up situation when you got to fight somebody that's on something like that, because it's just you're just and what can you do? I mean, don't get me wrong. If you're able to outbox him and not get caught with nothing stupid, or get through the fight without being worn down by somebody who got whatever that steroid that keeps you energized the entire fight. Man, I mean, it's just if you can survive through it, like I did sometimes, then more power to you. But you ain't gonna get no extra credit for it. So it'd be nice to find out these motherfuckers are doing it before you get in the ring with them.
Yeah, man. We got a question right here for you, Eddie. Eddie, who was your favorite fighters growing up?
Oh yeah, I like that. I always liked Evander. Definitely, when I was real young, it was Mike Tyson, just like everybody else. But I was a big Tyson guy when I was 8, 9 years old, before when I really started getting into the sport with my dad. Then I was like, you always want to be who your dad like. You always want to support who your dad supports. So at one point, I was a huge Felix Trinidad fan too. Oh man, Felix Trinidad, you know what I mean? Big, I was behind my dad the whole time. But then when I started really paying attention and I started really finding my guys, it was like I was a huge Shane Mosley guy. Like when he fought De La Hoya, and even his earlier fights at lightweight, I was a big time Shane fan, man, huge fan. One of my favorites to watch, probably at that era, period. But then I also was a Roy Jones guy. I like Roy, but James Toney. Once I really start really understanding it, I loved watching Holyfield. Holyfield was my man too for because of his heart and his skill. But James Toney was that dude. When I watched James Toney, and I started really paying attention to the little things he did, the mix of old school and new school game, the head movement, the shoulder rolls, he used everything for defense he could. You know what I mean? It was so his transition from offense to defense was seamless. It's just like James Toney, man, is probably one of the, and when I say underrated, I'm not saying he's underrated like people don't think that he's one of the top guys, but skill-wise, man, I don't think people rate him as high as they should with his skill. Like he got unbelievable ability, man. And just you could just tell that he worked that shit from from whenever he started boxing till and never stopped. And he is just like natural. Certain things were natural, I believe, but this dude worked. In that old school feel he got with some of the footwork, with some of the some of the head movements, how he did the shoulder roll. That was my favorite all time, James Toney. That dude was nice, for real.
Yeah, Jesse said James Toney's my number one guy.
Yeah,
100% agree with you on James Toney. James Toney was a bad man, that's for sure.
Straight up, that motherfucker was tough. I still like every once in a while I'll throw on one of his videos, man. Like when I'm getting really like back into the boxing mode, you know what I'm saying? Like when I'm thinking about like we talk about maybe a fight or something popping off, or I'm about to spar somebody, I start watching some of that James Toney shit to get me kind of like, oh yeah, I'm back in it. You know what I'm saying? My head's in it because that dude, it's exciting to see for me, even if it was like what most people say, oh, it was kind of a boring fight. Nah, all that shit I be watching, like his every little move, man. I'm telling you, ironing out just like every little detail.
No, for sure. James Toney was definitely up there. Now, somebody asked, how do you control your fear while in the pocket sparring? Now, hold up. Before we answer this question, Eddie, we just did a course.
Yes, we did. I was about to mention that.
How to box on the inside, okay? And this is something that we already actually touched on this whole thing. Hold on, give me 1 second. I don't think I uploaded it though to my thing. Yeah, I ain't got the mini commercial, but guys, we got the course, and we're gonna talk about this in 1 second. So don't worry, champ. But right now, 60% off the holiday deal special. Eddie, I'm giving the new course that we just did for 60% off. Like,
I don't know if I'm okay with that. Ant. Come on with that shit, bro.
Considering that is a course, and I got it bundled with how to box from the outside, which is another phenomenal course.
Come on, man. What you doing?
Yeah,
okay, look,
but listen,
you're doing it for the people.
I dropped this on Black Friday, which it wasn't even fully done. So everybody who got it Black Friday got it early. And now it's ready to rock and roll. And I'm like, you know what? We got Christmas. How can I like cut the sale completely during Christmas? You feel what I'm saying? Like it just doesn't feel right to me. So I'm letting them rock out. It's about to be the end of the year. We got the CA boxing community coming too, Eddie. And you're going to be a big part of the community, man. You're going to be a big community. We're going to be doing lives. We're going to be doing all types of different things. People are going to be able to post their own videos. We'll be able to review it and watch other people hit the bags and spar or whatever. And we can actually touch it. And it's free when you get something off of the website right now. I'm doing it for free. It's a trial run, but I'm doing it for free to try it out. Maybe 90 days, guys. I don't know yet. Maybe forever. I don't know. It's indefinite. I can't give you an exact how long we're doing it, but you guys are getting enrolled for free, so you got nothing to lose. Make sure you go to the website, get your 60% off. Get the course, man. I'm telling you right now, Eddie, you've been in professional boxing as a professional boxer, and I know you're on the courses, so of course people are going to say, of course Eddie's going to say the courses are good, but honestly, Eddie, what are your thoughts on the courses as a guy who now has seen the evolution from boxing before courses and now you got boxing after, now that we have all this technology? And somebody might be on the fence saying, man, that's corny, man, buying them stupid ass courses. Like, what's your thoughts on that, Eddie, in reality? Because you're open-minded in that way.
Well, for me, these kind of things I wish I had when I was coming up. Like, even with my pop, big time, especially when we talk about fundamental stuff. Like, that's why my technique is impeccable. And it's,
oh, now
I'm not overconfident. Listen, I'm not overconfident. I'm just saying the one thing that I know.
The truth came out. That boy said my technique is impeccable. All right,
it is. But you know why though? You know why? If you ever, I wish you could have met my pop and had him like show you straight up. If you seen him throw punches, his technique was better than mine, bro. Like I ain't bullshitting you. I did it at a higher level because I got to that point. But his technique was better than mine. Like if he showed you like my little cousin, Steve, Steve, my other cousin, all of us, every single fighter that he ever had, technically sound, punches are correct. He didn't do anything crazy or anything magical. It was hard work and put certain. Yo, I'm telling you, these courses though will help you in a way that maybe he couldn't. You know what I mean? And the reason why I say is because certain people have certain things that they do really well. Like we break down not only how to do certain things, but also when and where. You know what I mean? At what range? You know, and at what moment when this punch is thrown, and what to do if that punch is. You know what I'm saying? So all of these things are wrapped into that detail. You know what I mean? My dad was one of the best I've ever seen do it. Was showing you how to throw punches correctly and catch jabs and catch right hands and all that stuff. But he wasn't necessarily the best at telling you when and telling you what you needed to do when that particular punch came necessarily. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't like that kind of guy. He was more of a motivating guy in the corner. So with a guy like my dad is probably one of the greatest ever when I'm talking about putting your hands up and teaching you how to throw a jab with the step properly for building you from the ground up. Perfect. As good as I've seen with that. When you talk about trying to figure out how to put a fighter together and getting ready for fight night, he was more of a motivator. You know what I'm saying? But we need information too. And in order to have that information, you got to have somebody who can give it to you at the right time. That's what we provide. And these courses, without a doubt, are all of that wrapped into one. You got my dad and you got us all wrapped into one with this because you're getting the technique and you're getting how to use it. You know what I'm saying? It's good. I mean, I'm telling you, I wish I had it when I was coming up. I would have bought one of these if I could have afforded it. You know what I'm saying? Real shit.
Right. Nah, it's the truth, man. And I think that's the beauty about technology. And people really underestimate technology. People look at technology the wrong way. Like, I see a lot of people shed negativity on the internet. Like, oh, man, I don't do that internet stuff, man, or that internet stuff, man. And don't get me wrong. If you dive deep enough to the rabbit hole of the internet, you're going to see a lot of ridiculous foolishness. I can literally do a course. And I was having this conversation with Billy Briscoe earlier today. I could do a course on who not to watch, what not to do, because there's so much garbage out there. And beginners can't differentiate the garbage, right? Because they're getting so much information, they don't know where to go. They're just like, I saw this boxing coach doing this. I saw this boxer doing that. And they just want to learn. So since they're hungry to learn, they're taking in a bunch of bullshit along with some of the good shit. What we're doing, guys, is we're eliminating all the bullshit. And we're giving you all of the good shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's the whole purpose there. Hold on, I got a super chat right here. Jesse, thanks again. Happy holiday. Oh, you're both awesome. Real simple. And let me get back to my man who asked this question. He's probably sitting there like, yo, man, I asked the question 35 minutes ago, and you want to plug the bullshit. But the reason why I can't say your name, no disrespect, man. I really can't say. I'm just say WAPO at the end. The reason why I brought up the courses, champ, when you ask a question like this, is because this question, we tackled it in the course
100%.
And talk about different ideas and methodologies and ideologies. And right now, the courses are 60% off. You can literally get 2 courses for the price of less than one. There's no doubt with the bundle that now is the time to get something. So that's why when you guys ask me a question like this, I'm like, dude, just grab a course. You get the answer, complete answer, demonstrations, and all that. But Eddie, I'll let you touch on this since you're the professional fighter, right? When you've been in the pockets in the past, what helped you with the fear of being that close in the pocket?
Honestly, man, repetition. I ain't gonna lie. Repetition was a big thing. And when I got told you about my pop, the one thing he was really big on was obviously first things footwork, second things defense. First day in the gym, bro. First day in the gym. For me, I sparred. But after that, he was doing drills, catching, jab, throwing the jab back, things like that. Learn how to catch a 1-2 combination, learn how to catch a 1-2-3 combination. All of those things, I feel like you have to build a certain level of comfort with the idea of getting hit and how to deal with it. If you understand how to deal with something, regardless of how dangerous it may be, if you're like, if somebody said, I'm going to teach you how to deal with a dude with a gun at you in your face. You'd be like, a gun in my face? How the hell am I going to deal with that? Well, you know what I mean? There's ways, right? There's ways to disarm guys. So it's the same thing. If you're used to a gun being pointed at you or getting jabbed in the face, you'll be able to deal with it just with no problem. It's just getting used to the idea of it happening. You know what I'm saying? And having a way of dealing with it. If you don't have a way of dealing with it, and you're just going to get in there and say, oh, okay, I can deal with punches, and then somebody throws something at you, maybe throw some hot shit at you. You're like, well, I guess I can't deal with them. No, you got to learn. It's a process. Learn how to catch a jab, learn how to catch a right hand, learn how to catch a hook individually without throwing anything back and without the guy throwing it together. You understand what I'm saying? Take your time. Don't rush these things. But the first thing you should learn, 100%, in my opinion, is footwork and then defense. After that, punches and all that stuff's going to come. It's easy to hit somebody. It's not easy to make them miss all the time.
Now, you know what's crazy, Eddie? It's funny you say that because I created the master box, not the master boxing bundle. I got a bundle on my site right now called Build You From the Ground Up 1.0. And I got Build You From the Ground Up 2.0. And in the bundle, right, what I do in the bundles, Eddie, is I take more than one course, right? I bundle the ones that I feel mesh with each other the best. And then what I end up doing is discounting it from the full price. And on top of that, I give you an additional 60% off on top of the already marked down price. And I enroll you to the CA Boxing community that's launching early first quarter for free. I do all of that, right, to entice you because that's how bad I want everybody to be able to get it without shooting myself in the foot. I still got to pay you freaking top dollar just to feature in the damn videos. You ain't cheap. You know what I'm saying? You're charging top dollar to be in the goddamn videos. But Eddie's worth every penny and more. You know
Thank you.
You know
what I mean? I ain't no cheap. You know what I mean?
You definitely ain't cheap. But either way, you're worth it, though. You know what I'm saying? Pause. But this is the whole point, though. I take Build You From the Ground Up 1.0. Or this is my 1.0 series. I take Build You From the Ground Up 1.0, Defensive Principles 101, and my beginner footwork drills.
That's
and then
good.
Build You From the Ground Up 2.0 is Build You From the Ground Up 1.0, Build You From the Ground Up 2.0. There's going to be a 3, 4, 5, 6 coming in the future. But for right now, this is who I've made. Defensive Principles 101 and footwork drills. Now, the reason I'm saying what I'm saying is Eddie just told you he believes that the things you should be learning is footwork and defense. So since I have on the Build You From the Ground Up 1.0s and the 2.0s, I'm teaching them the line. So I'm teaching them how to step with the punch. I'm teaching them with the 1-2s and all of that. Easy stuff for guys like you and I, but very important for them.
Right.
I also incorporate the footwork course and I incorporate the defensive course, even though they're not at a point where punches are getting thrown at them yet. I know the importance of them understanding defense, so I included that in the bundle. It just shows me that our minds think alike in that regard, that defense and footwork is very important for the beginning stages of your boxing development. You see what I'm saying?
You know why, Ed? Because most people are trained to come out there and start throwing punches right away, which, okay, yeah. But I feel like if you can have all the power in the world. You can be a huge puncher. Samuel Peter, huge puncher. I fought him. Why was I able to exploit his punching power and it meant almost nothing in the fight? Because his footwork was so bad. If he had great footwork, I would have had a hell of a time to deal with him. You know what I'm saying? He's a big puncher with good footwork, but he had terrible footwork. He threw right hands with his right foot up, and I mean, it was I can't even think of how he did it. You know what I mean? I can't even describe it, but he did it, and it worked for him with certain guys. But when you get a dude that understands how important defense is and footwork is, and then you get a guy who doesn't have any footwork, but he has a whole huge heap of power, but how is he going to be used if you can't get to the target right? He can't plant his feet. He can't turn at the same time. He can't pivot with me. He can't do nothing. He couldn't do none of those things. And that's why all I needed really was a jab to beat him. You understand what I'm saying? This is why you have to understand simple boxing footwork first. And on top of that, then how do we protect ourselves? What's the next step? You got to defend. You don't want to get your head punched in, right? You don't want to be 5 years into your boxing career and already slurring.
No,
you understand what I'm saying?
Eddie, they want to have 48 professional fights and be able to hold interviews and speak as clearly
Exactly.
as you know what I'm saying?
Right. You know what I mean? And if the only way you're going to do those things is if you take it seriously. You got to take the game serious, but also on top of that, take defense seriously, because not everybody's just going to be standing there letting you hit them and not want to hit you back. Trust me.
Right. Yeah, man. Guys, man, Eddie's telling y'all the truth, man. It's very important. You guys need to learn that. You guys have to get your footwork. You guys have to get your defense right. You got to know the basics. The fundamentals is key. And I think that I'm going to end it on that note. We're going to keep this live. Try to cap it at an hour because we're going to be going on every day up until Christmas. All right. Try to get you on here as much as possible. Eddie, the people love you. So, you know what I'm saying? I need you on here, man. You know what I mean?
Love them too.
Yeah,
love them too.
We're gonna turn it up, and we got some great stuff coming. So, guys, have you guys questions ready? We will be back tomorrow, same time, 10 p.m. Eastern. Does that work for you, Eddie?
It does.
10 p.m. Eastern works for you. Hold on, my man TS. I learned my boxing fundamentals from Coach Anthony. He gave me fundamental knowledge I needed to build my fight IQ. I ended up buying Make 'em Miss, Make 'em Pay course to support. Courses will fast track you. TS, man, I appreciate that. Yeah, the Make 'em Miss, Make 'em Pay course is very, very good. I mean, it's how to set traps and counter punch and defensive principles 101, Eddie. So is that, and I believe I got the Philly show system in there somewhere. So that's a lot, man. But we're gonna cap this at 1 hour, guys. I want you guys to hold on.
Got one more, huh?
No, I got another question I want to answer. Can you make the how to box the opposite stance and footwork cheaper like your bundles? Well, how to box the opposite stance and the footwork, they're both 60% off, champs. So all you got to do is put in the code and it's still going to be 60% off. I don't know how much cheaper you want it to be.
I don't think you're going to be able to make a living off it if it ain't any cheaper than that. Man.
You know, listen, I don't know how much cheaper you want it to be, but that's about as cheap as I can go right now. You feel me? We already just gave out an extravaganza for Black Friday. I told everybody don't miss out on the Black Friday extravaganza. A lot of you guys didn't, and salute to you guys. So, yeah, man, I'm going to have to say that's what we got to offer you right now, 60%, and the price is going to go up. So you may want to consider that 60.
Now.
And you know what I mean, Angelica. So I hope that answers your question, kind of. You know what I mean? Thanks, guys. You guys should come to Australia one day. Yeah, me and Eddie will go out there. Eddie, you down to go to Australia?
I hate flying, but it might be nice to go down under. I can try that one time.
Right. Yeah.
As long as you give me some sleeping pills that I ain't gonna wake up for 20-something hours, you know what I mean? I'll be good with it.
Right. All right, man. Well, that's it for right now. And yeah, a little peek at that how to box the opposite stance that's worth every penny. For the record, this is one of my favorite ones, how to box the opposite stance, Eddie. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Everybody wants to know how to box a southpaw. Everybody who's a southpaw wants to learn how to box the opposite stance. We're gonna get into it. We're gonna give away all the secrets. We're gonna teach you so many great things, man. And luckily, we got a guy right here who can box both stands, orthodox and southpaw, and fast in the chambers. So we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna learn a lot. You guys made a very wise decision. So let's not waste no time. Let's get right into it. Man, Eddie, I would have swore you was a natural southpaw, man. Damn.
Yeah.
I thought you was a natural southpaw. Guys, thank you guys for tuning in. See y'all tomorrow.